That might be my favorite one yet. That might be the favorite music so far.
That's pretty good.
It was. It was catchy. Nice little way to. It was upbeat. Just nice little
Very
get everybody
positive.
excited.
Very positive and
What
upbeat.
is going on?
What's up?
It's draft day.
It is
If
draft day,
you're
and I know nothing about the draft. So here we are.
okay, fair enough. Well, if your team sucked last year, they probably get a good pick. If you're the Dolphins, you sucked last year. You're probably still going to suck next year. So, um,
Mhm.
but it does give
Over
you
here now.
hope for the offseason. Yep. But
I'm in my natural
how's
habitat,
your week?
guys. I look homeless. You're welcome.
No way. What is a new backdrop? Still got the lucky hoodie. Is that what that is in the background? Yeah,
Lucky
on the
hoodie.
chair.
Yeah, things just got some rearranged. It's all right. We're good. We're good.
Been a busy week. Let me
Yeah.
remember the. Hopefully, I can actually see the chat this time.
Yeah, you
Can
couldn't
you
last time.
can
I
you see
remember
anything?
that.
I got nothing so far. So if there is chat, I definitely can't see it. Um, but yeah, what do you think? Most Kentucky fans, Tennessee Titan fan, maybe some Cleveland Browns fans, they've already picked.
Bengals fans
But
too. That don't forget.
oh, Cincinnati, yeah, that's silly. That's silly me. Bengals fans with Joe Burr, um,
Joey
and
Burr.
yeah,
Jamar.
uh, yeah. We'll see. They spent money like they were a fantasy football team this year, so we'll see how well they can do, and see if they can keep old Trey
They
Hendrickson
better.
on the squad.
They better.
Uh,
Just because I
well,
live in this territory, so
how's your week been so far?
busy. We got new person at work I'm training as I'm still working, and then marching band season starting back up already, and I'm not recovering from the last season, so just a
Not much of an off
perpetual.
season for you. Feel like that. Like
Well, marching band ends, and then indoor percussion starts, and it essentially is about from July until end of March is when that lasts.
so, I'm gonna be honest with you. I have no idea what that means. What's indoor percussion mean? Is that like
Oh, it's
what
like
instrument
they
is
do
percussion?
competitions, whatever. Yeah, so like there's just percussion, and they have a piece and they compete, and they have to do so well and like perform so well or whatever for it to do well. They just got third in state at the end of March, so pretty happy.
But what instrument is percussion? What are percussion instruments?
Oh, 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 oh. To be fair, I don't know all the names of them. Like I know there's drums and there's
Okay,
they call 'em- I call them xylophones, but there's something else now that they play. And then there's like my daughter plays electric guitar, which is really cool. She's
nice.
badass, man. She's so badass. Um, and then there are the gongs, the big giant gong thing. That's a percussion apparently. And then the giant bass drum, and then like your drum sets and like cymbals and whatever those things are. I'm not musical, so
Gotcha.
I don't have a clue. But they did well,
We're
so that's all that
talking.
matters.
All right. Well,
Oh my
you got a
god, look
future
at her.
drum liner going on.
She don't play snare drum or anything. No, she just might be up in the stands playing guitar or something like that. Although she's decided to pick up her fifth instrument, I think. So
I tried to teach myself how to play guitar. It didn't go well. It
I
didn't go
I
well
used to play
at all. I
guitar and
got
I
no
briefly played drums,
dexterity in my
but it was
fingers
not
anymore.
good.
Like I just cannot do it. Cannot just sit there and get frustrated.
Yeah,
Oh, look what before we
drag
start,
the
look what
chat
I got.
over, huh?
I, it's gonna. I don't know what's going. Are you getting stuff
Oh no,
in the chat?
but it's there.
Okay.
I see it now.
Just I just was making sure that my stuff was.
Oh, it's
Look what
gone
I got.
again. What'd you get? You got the denims, the denim
Yeah,
books.
yeah, I sure did.
Ooh.
I certainly did. I'm not
Those
saying I
look
have a
so good.
problem. I'm not saying I have a problem, but I might have a problem.
You,
Um,
listen, I know how many shoes you've bought probably in the last year, and you've got a problem right now. Okay, just admit
yeah,
it.
yeah.
You have a
Uh,
problem.
uh, Makes me happy. So, yeah.
Shit, that's all that matters then.
I was asked if I was going to wear those. I was like, maybe. I don't know. They're kind of nice. We'll have to see. Weather will have to be
I
right.
wear my coach's ones.
I haven't unboxed them yet either. I got to wait for the right time. But the so it's been an up and down week as Kentucky basketball weeks seemingly seem to go. Um, it was a get for Pope in the portal. Let's start with the acquisition and not the person who left. How you feel about Denzel Aberdeen?
Well, I I I think he was a great addition. To be fair, I mean, to be legit, I think. I mean, he's playing a championship team, right? His numbers actually go up when he starts the game, which is kind of cool. Um, he's what 6'5", 6'6", something like that. He's
Six
he's a
five
big
one
guard.
ninety, I think.
Yeah, he's a big guard. He's quick. He's athletic, and he's actually the I don't know if people remember this, but he's the player that Pope said actually terrified him when they played Florida. He's like, hey, he scares me to death. Um, so I mean, I think that should speak for itself.
Yeah, no, I think that's a. I thought he was. I put out there. I didn't know we were going to be in the running for him, but when he went hit the portal, I remember it was like he didn't. His box score doesn't jump off to you like when he was especially in the national championship game. But he made some. I mean, he made some like momentum swinging plays that kind of got them back from being down when they couldn't generate any offense. So he was able to get to the bucket.
Yeah,
Um, his I think his like all of the folks who came this year, their shooting numbers, their efficiency went up. Um, but he can play point. He can play the two guard, so another kind of combo guard. Um,
yeah,
and in it, I don't want to start this all up again, but him coming in, I think gives us a little bit of insurance just in case we don't see Owe next year because he's a break you down, he's explosive, he's electric. I feel like he can fill that role, and if you can get him back and have somebody to come in here and those two on the court together along with Colin Chandler or even if it's Aberdeen. I imagine he came here to start. So I don't know how that puts low on the in the pecking order. The reports were that he was expected to start.
hmm
At Florida, and then the kid from Princeton, Lee, coming over, kind of mess some things up there. But so I mean, if he had some questions about minutes at Florida, what was he told when he came to Kentucky? I don't know where that
hmm
puts Lowe. I think we expected Lowe to be potentially a multi-year guy, anyways, or you know, since he was going to be okay with that. But we have added athleticism to the roster, which was probably the um, biggest issue with last year's team, right?
yeah,
So
I would agree.
uh, on-ball defense, athleticism, toughness, and again, more experience. Final Four, NCAA tournament experience are the things
hmm
that Pope said he was going to chase after. Freshmen, returning dudes that can be in the system for multiple years, and then our senior type folks who will be one and done, but are seasoned portal folks, and that's how he's
Yeah,
built the roster so far.
no, I agree. Um, he went, he went, they went hard the portal this year. Like, to be fair, like that roster is ridiculous.
It's good.
Um,
It is
it's
good. It's all got to come
really good.
together. Um, it's what I wanted to see. I said it with repeatedly about Florida. The reason why I thought they were so good and why I've had them winning the tournament was because they were too deep in every position, right?
Yeah,
So they consistently showed that like Condon was their dude, right? There was their lean on stretch four type player, and he got into the tournament and he looked absolutely terrified. And they went to I forget how to say it, ho,
Handlocked.
whatever. Handlocked it. Well, and there's another kid, the Haugh kid.
Oh,
We looked him
how?
up. Yeah, I think, and he came in and got him good minutes. They were just deep.
Mhm.
When the offense was struggling in the first half, they had dude come off the bench and keep them in the game, hit three threes, right? So they were just multiple every position, and when that happens, it's like we would have problems last year if a guy or two went cold. If Barea went cold, it was going to be a tough game for us. If Otay couldn't finish at the rim, or especially when Carr was getting back from injury, when he couldn't finish around the rim and play like himself, we struggled. But if you have multiples at that position who can play, you're going to be hard pressed for all those guys to be off, right?
Hmm.
And so if you can play with minutes and get to the guys in who are feeling it, and then when all of them,
Oh, there it is.
um, yeah, uh, no one just wants to talk to us. No,
Damn,
which
that's harsh,
yeah,
y'all.
normally we have at least a shit talker in here. Um, but so long story short, I'll wrap it up. Is just if the dude who you expect to be, if Otega's having an off game or Chandler's having an off game, you can bring someone in off the bench. You got Jasper who's can go off and has crazy athleticism and get a bucket.
Yeah.
This Yelly coming in. You just have so many guys who can be great. And if you're gonna tell me that all of them happen to click in that game, there's not a team in the country who can compete with us, right? So it gets me excited that we have multiple ways to win and don't have to kind of lean on guys. And if they're not having a good game, we're kind of like, this might be a
Yeah.
tough one, like we saw against Tennessee.
Yeah, that was not a good game. But no, I agree. The depth is really good this year. Like I said, we missed out last year a lot. And we have, I think somebody posted a graph about how there are multiple players that can play multiple positions, and so we're not just pigeonholed like say like Amari at the five and then like the point, right? Like they're very fluid in how they play and what they play, which I think not only gives Pope options when they gets hurt, foul trouble, off game, whatever. It's the offense also has options, different options too, to run it and to someone to guard. So I'm ready for season already. I'm ready for it to be next season already. I'm not gonna lie. Like I'm gonna need
Yeah,
these practice videos start hitting like crack this summer because I need them. I
I
need
think
them.
let me know if you agree. I think the one person as of right now on the roster who isn't versatile by position, not by his athleticism and what he JQ is. I think going to be stuck on the block in the paint type guy. Maybe he can facilitate the offense from different positions, but he's not a guy who you're going to expect to make buckets from the outside, right? Like BG potentially
No.
can develop that way. I think he's the one who you kind of know what his position is going to be.
Mhm. Yeah, I mean he can pass really well too. But I mean you if you have a top five, it's
Yep,
working.
it's
People just want
working.
to talk to us. I'm
No one
pretty
just
sure.
want to talk to us.
Um,
Okay.
which is fine. Whatever.
My
Um,
feelings aren't hurt. Um, they are a little bit, but
mine are hurt. Well, what ones I have left are hurt. Put it that way, right? Um, anyway, no, I even despite shooting limitations, because Amari had those as well, right? Like if marches the ball outside of 3 feet, everyone was like, hmm. So, um, JQ is just if you have a chance to bring a top five prospect on the team, you do it no matter what. You figure it out. Like you figure it out.
yeah, I don't disagree with you. That was a massive get. Um, there 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 isn't 10% of the teams in the country who wouldn't want him on the roster. So everybody wants a JQ on the team
Yeah.
because of what the potential is. But now that I think I think we end up pulling one more. Who knows what it is? Um, uh, at least one more
You think they're
from
going to
the
be on the
portal.
draft, the transfer, or like the draft thing, or transfer portal?
I'm not. That's a good question. I'm really not sure. The tail end of the thing about it is that the tail end of the draft, the people who return that maintain eligibility aren't going to be cheap, right? So, um, and we're apparently we've already dropped 20
Quarter
million on
Rivers, who gives a
NIL.
shit?
Yeah.
Who gives a shit if
Golly,
cheap or
that's
not?
so
We get the money.
silly. I hate that there because it just opened it up a bag of worms that if for some reason the season doesn't go as expected, and as expected is going to be deep tournament run, and it's going to be the same narrative that Shire got at Duke, where it's like you pay for this expensive roster and you can't win the whole thing. It's like, but the numbers that you're being told are asinine. So, like if we had $20 million to drop just cold hard cash on NIL, um, yeah, I don't all these quote
It
unquote whiffs that we
defies the
had.
odds, right?
Yeah, yeah, like Dent's not at UCLA right now. If we really wanted him, he's not at UCLA because we got 20 M's to just kind
Yeah,
of drop
Cleveland is not
whoever
a
the hell we
problem,
want to.
right? Money's not an issue at
Yeah.
all if we're spending like that much cash.
Um,
Um,
But yeah, the
so
roster that we got right going on right now is good. It all has to come together. I'm curious if we place over the summer, or if we do something to kind of see if the team can go together, how that camaraderie it's built. We didn't really have the opportunity last year. It was just kind of on campus playing, but the team still meshed really well. So
yeah,
maybe that's the system. That's how you get it done. But I like you said, we're gonna have TBT uh, that'll kind of satisfy the appetite a little bit. But everybody's excited, so that they want to see ball. So something like a global jam type thing, like we got the Reed Shepard, Dilly Reeves year. Will even build even more excitement if there's something like that out there that we can get involved in.
yeah. No, yeah. I need. Well, the fan base needs something besides just private videos every once in a while and TBT. Although TBT is fun as shit. Don't get me wrong.
TBT was awesome last year. TBT was
Yeah,
was
that was
absolutely awesome.
crazy.
That I mean,
But
they I don't think they even fully expected what the Kentucky Louisville rivalry game for dudes who were 10 years removed from the university, what that would do. And I mean, setting the absolute thanks, Patrick. We appreciate you jumping in, man. We were just hanging out here lonely by ourselves for a little while. But yeah, I mean that we were just Kentucky sports, Louisville. That what it does just moves the needle for especially in basketball. So
yeah, but I feel like the
setting records
guys
for
back then
TBT.
that played that were older, like there's actual like deep rooted hatred up in that.
Oh yeah,
Like
yeah,
like that's not just a rivalry. Like the guys that played last year, that was some hatred. Like
yeah, for sure. And
like
it
I
and
seen a
like
street moving in the
once
direction
these
of hatred.
dudes leave, it's not like it goes away, right? So like Willie
Right.
Cauley Stein's hatred has been like half a decade plus. So
Right.
like when
Like
they leave, like
who did
there's
he hate the
been
most? What was that guy's name? Harold? Trev Harold?
yeah.
Is that his
Who's the
name?
kid that's I
The kid
forget
that
who
fell
one of them.
over and he stared down like for 30
Oh
seconds.
yeah, and then there's the kid that spit Nate Sestina. Um,
Oh, that's
but
it. That's
hopefully
it.
I forget. I can't remember.
Look,
There's
his name's um. He's the
I
guy
don't.
inside, right? The big guy inside.
Yeah, yeah. Montrezl
Montrezl
Harrell.
Harrell. Montrezl
I don't.
Harrell.
He might have been the one. But yeah,
That's the one
there's
that Willie hates. I know for sure.
yeah,
But I don't know who
uh,
spit. That's disgusting. Ew.
yeah. It was not good. But what would you expect from that side that northern part of the state? Not it's unfortunately it's just kind of
Hey,
what
hey, hey, hey. Let's not include the northern part of the state, okay? Because I am from the northern part of the state.
Louisville fans that
Let's just
reside in
let's just not just exclude the Louisville area, all Louisville fans, some UK fans are like, y'all chill, but still,
Yeah, can just maybe we can just like give it to Ohio.
it'd be only to Indiana if anything.
Think Indiana, maybe. Um,
I mean, because they live right across the river, so yeah, it'd be,
yeah,
it'd be Indiana.
yeah. Um, so I guess we just rip the Band-Aid off, and
Travis
we'll
Perry,
like,
I hope you fucking succeed
yeah,
wherever you go. Thank you.
okay,
Wherever you go, I hope you succeed.
yes, 100%. Like, where do you lay on the? So well, let me start because I can already see now the like you're a hypocrite because you were so upset with Kenny Brooks when he kicked Cassie Rowe off the team. Correct. I was not
Ah,
happy about it.
thank you.
Oh, here we go. It was the spitter. Oh,
Oh, that's going in the intro
yes.
video.
Yeah. Um, so yes, I was not happy with Kenny Brooks. But it was different circumstances, in my opinion. And two, I very much said this is a small blip in the Kenny Brooks Kentucky legacy, and I'm going to support the coach. He's done great things. The narrative that went out when Travis Perry said hit the portal, that was like instant turn on Pope and blaming him for the decision, and he pushed Travis out and yada yada yada,
Yeah.
baffled me. I don't know
Yep.
why. I shouldn't be surprised by this nonsense anymore, but I am. But it truly, truly baffled me to see the flip from fans that I see on the X machine, who literally days before were talking about how wonderful this man was. I don't understand it.
Well, some of the posts were sarcastic troll posts in order to lure the really dumb people out that were mad about this.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
And it did. The replies, golden, exactly what you would expect. But
Ooh.
as far as the people that like were legit thinking that Pope pushed him out, no, I don't think that's the case at all. Um, I just don't think that's the case at all.
I
I
don't
just
think so. I don't. It
it
couldn't
doesn't
have
make
been.
sense. It doesn't make any
No,
sense.
I'll lean more on the timing than anything. The timing of him going into the portal on like the 11th hour.
Right.
If Pope, honest, I believe this with my heart because Pope is a Kentucky guy. He played for the brand. He loves the brand.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, if he was going to be like, hey Travis, you don't got it, dude. You aren't going to play for me next year. You're not going to play for me your junior year. There's no way he wouldn't. He would have not
Waited
let
until the very last second to
exactly.
enter.
He would not
Yeah.
have let that be known at the last second to where these rosters are put together, and now Travis Perry has very limited places to go, or the options are reduced significantly.
Mm-hmm.
I think we made some moves. His agent was working and said, "Hey, you have some interest from big schools for
Yeah.
X amount of money. You have some interest from smaller schools, but still, upper level Power Five schools who want to give you X money and this amount of playing time. If you don't go into the portal now, you will miss your opportunity." So, like I said before, this is if him electing to go into the portal was a good business decision, right?
Yeah.
It it was like, okay, I'm in the portal now. I can always come back. I can land my ass right back in Kentucky next season, if I want to, if the offers aren't good enough.
Mm-hmm.
But if I get the PT that I want, if I get the NIL that I want to go somewhere else, maybe it makes sense to do that. I'm a Kentucky boy. I've always wanted to play here. But you know what? I'm going to build my brand more on the court than I will on the bench at the University of Kentucky. I don't know that I believe that. I think Travis Perry built his brand just fine as a Kentucky boy in
Yeah.
Lexington on the bench, but I'm not him, and I 100% could be wrong based off of if he goes out there and lights it up for sure at any school, for sure his brand is gonna explode and his draft stock's gonna
Right.
go up and yada yada yada. So I in my down in my gut believe this was not a Pope telling him he's not good enough to be a Kentucky basketball player in the future. It was a in the new world of NIL, this is a business move by a smart individual, a talented individual, just to kind of see where I'm at in the landscape of college basketball and the interest that other teams have for me.
Yeah, no, I agree. I agree. I don't think it was. Oh my god, my dog. Um, I don't think it was anything to do with Pope at all either. I don't. I think he saw that maybe like the roster and stuff and was like, like I said, they're just probably shopping him. Where do you think he'll end up at?
I mean, I don't think it's out of the realm of possibility he's back at Kentucky next year. I really don't. Like, if, another piece of this is like, I'm sure he had conversations with Pope and whatnot. There might have been some expectations by the coaching staff that, like, we don't have to put, he's going to be like Trent Noah. He's going to be back. He wants to play here. This is his dream school. And maybe it's again, business decision. Maybe it's a negotiation like, hey, I want some reassurances right now. Like, I want to know if I come back this year and ride the pine, my junior year is going to be the one where you put the faith, trust, and confidence in me. You're not going to go out there and try to find your starting one or two guard in the portal. Maybe it's I want a little extra coin in my pocket because I'm putting faith into you. Or maybe it is he just wants a fresh start where he's going to be a starter or get decent minutes. So I think he could be back in Kentucky next year. Is it uh, a long shot? I don't know if I put it a long shot, but are the odds lower? Yes. I think Cincinnati potentially makes sense. Um, I saw EKU. I don't know if that makes sense. He's too talented, I think, to play at EKU. Not talking too much shit about my hometown team, but Travis Perry is Mr. Kentucky, and I think he can do better than that.
Yeah.
I do think Ole Miss is interesting. I don't know
Didn't he
how.
visit them a lot though before he came into Kentucky?
Yeah, I think there was a lot of Ole Miss interest. I think Alabama was in his last five.
Yeah,
Um, who was WKU involved? I don't know if he
I
was.
don't remember.
Yeah, but
Did you see that
um,
he's heard from like Arkansas and stuff, and it's like, yo, shit, Cal didn't want you where at Kentucky, but now all of a sudden he wants you to Arkansas. Like,
yeah, there's a lot of trolling going on. That's what I posted. Like, if he does, I mean, listen, if he chooses one of Tennessee, Louisville, or Arkansas,
he might be the new Reed Shepherd, public enemy, like number one over here.
yes, and it will be of no fault at his own. He went and got paid and whatever. But honestly, that is a big balls move if he does one of those things. And I will have trouble being mad at him for making that decision because it's like, hey, dog, you turned heel real quick. You went from like ultimate babyface Kentucky boy, playing at Kentucky, getting minutes you weren't supposed to this year, elevating your game a little bit to instant like bad guy, and we are gonna have to hate you,
Instant heel. Like people
especially
will
if it's like.
forever.
Yeah, especially if it's Louisville, which doesn't make sense just because they're so guard heavy. That doesn't make sense at all.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, the relationship that he had with Cal that basically kind of forced himself on the team doesn't make any sense. Tennessee, like he is not a Rick Barnes type player. I don't think.
Mm-mm.
Even though I've compared him, in the first 2 years as a Kaiser, so maybe Rick can get something out of him, and they do need players on their team. Like, I don't even know if they can put a starting five out there right now. Um, but yeah, I don't know where he ends up going. I do wish him the best. I hope we get a surprise I'm back statement just because I do think there's potential for him to be a big piece in a Kentucky uniform on a championship type level team.
Hmm.
But yeah, we'll see. I do think I don't know. Like, how do you feel about the whole like, hey, let him get the narrative that's let him get some playing time elsewhere, and then he can transfers back his junior senior year. I think that's more of a long shot than him just coming back this year and getting some extra assurances and money and guarantees and whatnot. But do you think that's a legit possibility?
I mean, Michi did it, so why not why not Travis Perry?
Yeah, I
I
mean, I
mean,
guess
South Carolina, Ohio State, South Carolina, like why
yeah,
not? Um, I just I don't know if that's the case because I feel like Travis Gustin where he's getting a lot of playing time. I don't think he would leave. Um, so no, I don't. I think that's less likely than him coming back this year. But I don't think he'll come back this year either. Like I really don't. Like I think he's gone. He's somewhere else. Um, so
here you go. Dolphins are on the clock. Kenneth Grant, D tackle out of Michigan. All right, maybe that's good. Who knows? Um, Golly, I can't even get excited about this pick. I don't even know. Um, I'm so they suck. The Dolphins stink so bad. The coach sucks. The GM sucks. Tua sucks. It's like it's just out here just every year just watching this team just be absolute booger, and it's just anyways. Um,
sports fandom.
yes, yeah, yeah. Can I just get a good football team, please? Kentucky football sucks. Miami football sucks.
Hey, don't judge the team before the season.
I mean, last year sucked. Like
Oh,
who?
okay, okay,
Like
okay. I was like,
yeah,
damn, that's harsh.
yeah. I
Valid,
mean, and
but harsh.
I mean they got to win some ball games before I buy in again. They're not going to get me like they did last year when I went all in on this 10-2 record just to look like a complete freaking idiot. Um, Golly, but yeah, I'll end it with everybody got so hung up on Travis Perry leaving, and they
Mhm.
forget that Trent Noah is on this team and all the great things Pope has said about Trent Noah's potential and what he sees in him in a Kentucky uniform. They forget Malachi Moreno and Jasper Johnson are like top recruits that were plucked from Kentucky to stay in Kentucky and sought
Mhm.
after by Coach Pope. Pope Jasper was a dude. Jasper was 100% a dude. Malachi Moreno like was someone Pope went after because he thought he was good enough to play at Kentucky and was good enough to prioritize over other guys who were ahead of him that Pope could have easily gone after. So
Mhm.
the fact that they dedicate so much time to Malachi to get him in, um, and we're still out there, you know, doing home visits with Kentucky dudes. We're still
Yeah.
prioritizing the talent, okay,
Mhm.
and prioritizing them. It's one player who, you know, I don't believe was like a Cassie Rowe situation. We still haven't gotten a statement. We haven't heard much, so maybe it's different. But like she was told, we need the roster spot. You aren't good enough to play here. Appreciate your time. Got to go. Um, I don't believe that happened with Travis Perry. I think it was like,
Mhm.
hey, dog, we understand. We understand you want to go play. You are a going to be a sophomore who is a legit bucket getter, and if you want to go prove yourself because you don't think you're going to get enough playing time, get enough burn here in Lexington, okay, go see what your value is. That's what I believe happened, and I'm not going to sit there and get upset at Pope for not, or or Pope or Perry for this decision to go out there. Like I said, I
No,
hope he comes
not
back,
at
but
all.
I'm not gonna get spun up and go out there and be like, yeah, I'm boycotting X, Y, or Z, or Pope sucks, or any of this nonsense because he has proven what he is doing for the state and for like homegrown talent. Um, and the idea that the Darius Miller days are dead, I think, is silly.
Yes. Also, people in Kentucky need to realize this, and this is not a knock on anybody or anything, but um, Kentucky doesn't produce the type of talent that other places produces as far as basketball goes. Like we just don't. We don't. Like Jasper is good, but he ended up leaving Kentucky to go play somewhere else to get better and to get more exposure and everything else, right? Like, yeah, Malachi stayed. He could have left 1,000%. But when it comes down to just raw basketball talent, Kentucky doesn't produce it as like other places, like Florida does, like Texas does, like New York. Like that's not a thing that happens as much here in Kentucky. So yes, we all love the homegrown UK boys. We love them. We love them so much. But you can't put together a roster of guys from Kentucky expect to win like UK fans want to win. Those two things are not cannot be mutually exclusive, and I think that just needs to be realized. Just saying.
Yeah, and like you said, if there is a talent in the state like the dudes we have bringing in this upcoming season, I do think it means something to us that you go get them, right? Like
Mm-hmm.
Jasper deciding to play for Pope instead of going to UNC, which was where he was headed before Pope got hired. That's
Mm-hmm.
to us, that's massive. The Lexington kid decided to stay here instead of going to UNC. Now we see that was probably a very, very good decision because UNC is absolute dog water right now, it's really
Everyone's left.
Caleb. Yeah, hopefully they can, with all that money they're giving Caleb Wilson, he can clone himself because I don't know how they're going to even fucking put somebody a whole team together. Um, absolutely wild. Anyways, I think that means something that they brought in. But yes, those talents aren't just coming out of the state at a cyclic rate like they are, in some of these other states, more populated states, states where it's just they're, like you said, there's a lot more talent coming out
Mm-hmm.
of there. We certainly aren't upset when the football team and goes and gets a running back, out of Florida or Texas or California or, something like that. So, that we understand that the talent is dispersed throughout certain parts of the country, and can't get upset at that. But yeah, we spend enough time on that. Pope, still our guy. Relax. When the season starts, a lot of this will fade. We'll see where Perry goes. Cheer him on, and let's just. I think ultimately, whether it's next season or seasons to come, you hope that he can finish his career out at Kentucky. But who knows? He at least got to live out the dream for a
That's
season,
true.
and
That's true.
really the ultimate goal is to go play ball and get drafted and play at the ultimate, the highest level. So we hope that for him, because that would be defying odds for a 6'1" white kid from Kentucky, from Lyon County. So
Yep.
um, how do you feel about? So we talk about the roster. You think it's a very good roster. Um,
Mm-hmm.
Assuming, I think we're not done, but assuming we are done, what are the pieces you think were most important? And maybe that piece isn't officially back yet. That's okay too. What do you think that were the most important gets for Pope and moving on to next season to be like truly Elite Eight, Final Four competitive?
That's a really hard question, Rando. Um, I so because we lost so many pieces, I feel like every piece was super important.
Oh, you cheater! That's such a bullshit answer. You cheating ass.
Well, think of it. Nothing. We lost 6 players to seniors. Gra-
Yep.
Kerr transferred out, right? Like every piece was very well thought out and constructed. Is what I'm saying. Like it's not just like it's the roster was built the way it is for a reason, right? It wasn't just let's just go grab whoever. It was this one, this one, this one, this one,
Hmm.
this one. So I don't know. I feel like they're all important. I do think JQ is huge because of the defense he brings in the paint. I think that's massive and understated because Amari was a defensive player of the year, but he wasn't blocking shots like JQ block shots, right? Like that was not happening. Um,
Right.
and I think that changes things too. Um, I don't know. I mean, obviously, OA being back would be massive and like kind of like the little
Yeah.
puzzle piece of this. But um, I think also important to note, he went out and got a lot of dudes. Like he got dudes, right? Like people that are going to take it and put it through your chest to get to the rim. Right? People who are going to hustle. People who have the little extra like grittiness to them. We have more of those on the team for next season than we had this season. I think. And I think because I think Pope learned that from playing within the SEC that you have to have a lot of people like that to compete in this league.
Yeah. For me, I'm excited for Yelly like I was for Kobe last year. Like
Mm-hmm.
the what he brought in to go get a talent like that, and he was more under the radar, I think, than Kobe was like very much in the spotlight of like everybody
Mm-hmm.
wanted this dude because of his ability to
Yeah.
shoot the basketball. Um, Getting him was like, oh, babe, this is a massive weapon for Pope, and it really showed that he could recruit over some of these top programs. Uh, bringing Yelly in and what he can do, because I just watching Pope's offense for a year and truly, being intimately involved in what he's doing as a coach, and how he is coaching. That Andrew Carr spot was very, very important in
Mm-hmm.
my eyes. So to fill it with somebody who's even more talented than Andrew Carr, I think is a massive get. I do get nervous that he's still kind of one of one, similar to what Andrew Carr was. Um, if something happens and like with Andrew Carr, he misses some time, who fills that spot? Um, maybe BG is a 4 and JQ's a 5. I don't know, but
Trent
like,
Noah.
yeah, Chernoa potentially. Like it can really stretch it. He just doesn't. He doesn't have the post game that I think is important
He could
for.
develop it though.
Maybe, yeah, yeah. If you're not wrong. If I'm sitting there saying, they can figure out how to develop BG a post game, now there's a 4-inch height difference there. But yeah, or maybe just poses a different kind of problem for teams, and it can play that. But um, I uh, I really think that was massive. Otega Owe is, again, that's a cheat answer. Like, of course he's important to this team coming back. I believe that Brandon Garrison coming back this year, if he can hit if he can hit 80% of what his potential is, I really believe it unlocks something more for Kentucky. And now, as they say, we are cooking with grease, because like if he can keep his head right, what I'm saying? Like not
Mm-hmm.
all the way right. I don't need him to be like I want him to be a little bit wild, because
We
that's, I
want him a
think
little
he.
crazy. We
Yeah,
want him a
we
little
do. We want
crazy.
a little dog in them, right? We want him to get right before technical and then and then pull himself out. Um, but if he can learn to play with his back to the basket, if he can play engaged all the time, right? Because there were times when when he was at Oklahoma and he was engaged. Tennessee, when he was playing, he was engaged. The dude is just different. He has an innate ability and his size is special. He does have good instincts. He has a decent enough shot to cause some panic in a defense, if he's going to play in that stretch 4 or stretch 5 spot. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and if he can just get to partial 80% of his potential, I think it is a difference maker for this team around all the other talent that can create their own shot. If he can figure out how to be a average offensive rebounder and like fight on the boards and get us X possessions, those sort of things. You know, average 8 rebounds a game, average 8 to 10 points a game. And then have nights where he goes off for 15, 18, and those sort of things can be it. You know, is it crazy if BG gets enough time to get him to be a consistent double type scorer? I think not, or a double type player. 10 rebounds, 10 points. I don't think that's wild if he's getting 25 minutes a game. Maybe it is.
But he won't get that many minutes a game, though.
You don't think so? I think the way Pope, I think he will throughout the season because I don't know that you can just throw JQ out there for 30 plus minutes a game coming off the injury in the first
but
part of the
think about
season.
Pope's rotations, though. None of the bigs ever played over like 20 minutes a game sometimes, unless it's absolutely necessary. You know what I mean? Like
What did
that's
Amari?
not.
I thought Amari averaged close to 25 minutes a game. Is that not right?
I mean, maybe for the end of the year, but for a while it was evenly split.
That was towards the end of the year. BG did get a lot of minutes. You're right, and I honestly question that, but uh, yes, I just think BG can be really special. Me and BB and I got into like a back and forth when we were going after JQ, and I was like, dog, if we get because this is when Alvaro was or Alvaro was the stretch four we thought we were getting, and I was like, man, if we go after these two dudes, and at this point we with the portal the exits from Kentucky hadn't happened yet, or the non-expected ones. And I was like, if we lose BG because we go get these two guys, like I don't know if that's a good trade off. And we were kind of going back and forth, and
well, BB and I had the same thoughts about all of that. So
yeah, I admitted that he won the argument when he was like, hey, Bruce Pearl is went all in with his chips to go get JQ. A dude doesn't do that if he's not special. I'm like, all right.
Right.
I mean I don't have a counter argument for that. That is 100% fact. So like I get it. Okay, go get JQ.
Yeah.
The fact that we got both, I think that's an even split. I'm gonna call it that. We share the winning of that argument there. But now that you can have both of those dudes, I think is special. But the depth of the team is great. Those key pieces that we got to just kind of shore up the aggressiveness, the attitude, the defensive mindset, the toughness are going to play well in SEC play. And now we have some flexibility on how we win games. I think is the biggest thing to look forward to next year. Is there isn't now there will be a dude who develops himself to be like the guy at the end of the game who's got to win it for you. That was Otega Oweh. But last year he was the guy, right? He at the end of the season, there was one dude who we could trust the ball in his hands to kind of go get a bucket and win us a game. This year,
that was Oweh.
Yeah, and this year you're not going to be able to just put your thumb on who that person's going to be. You'd expect to be Oweh, right. But Jasper Johnson can surprise and can can walk in to Rupp Arena and start lighting it up. Now, I think I just answered my question: who could potentially fill that stretch 4 spot if Yelly goes down? It's Malachi Marino, right?
Yeah.
Right? I mean, Malachi Marino can shoot. He could play the 4 or the 5 potentially. All right, we're good. We're fucking winning it all next year. I've just convinced myself. I literally just did. I calculated in my mind. We are perfectly fine.
I just saw your brain work, and you're like, hold on. I just saw your thought progression happen.
It's just we have, and I do this every time, and I'm just naming off players who can be the bucket getter. And I did this on Round of Shot Space. They were like, hey, if Otega Oweh doesn't come back, who is your go-to bucket guy? And I was like, it's probably Jasper. Like it's probably he's so athletic, blah, 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 blah. And I was giving all the reasons why. And then like 30 minutes later, I'm like, hold on, I need to change my answer. And they're like, who? It's Super C. It's how do I always forget Colin Chandler is just out here on this fucking team in the shadows. Dude, like I just forget about this guy when it's wrong of me, but it's just like he's just number 5, just chilling out there waiting to be all SEC next year. Like the dude is going to be an absolute monster next year. I truly believe it. Now that he's got a full year of ball under his belt.
Yep.
But they're just like there's all these little hidden pockets, these little players that we're so excited about the portal, and then we forget who we have coming back. Then we're excited about the portal, we forget about the freshmen that are coming in. It's just yeah, we are we're hanging banner 9 this year. Like just go ahead and buy your ticket to go to Indianapolis right now. If you don't have the money, get a credit card. You'll be okay. Put
Do not
it on the
for financial
put it on the
advice.
monthly. It doesn't matter the interest rate. You can pay it off over the next 40 years if you have to. Book the ticket. We're gonna be there. We're handing banner 9. It's gonna happen. It's gonna.
For financial advice, please.
Yeah, there's gonna be a disclaimer at the end of this one.
Disclaimer: Random is not a financial guy.
Yeah, this is not
a CPA. He's not an investment guy. He's not in his.
Nope. He is a degenerate who spends too much money on shoes, bourbon, and gambling. So maybe don't take advice from him.
Please don't.
Maybe. Yeah. I am not Jeff Shepard, who is in charge of probably like 80% of the money in Kentucky because of his name and his financial advisor status.
That's a good point. Probably is.
He's got to be. It doesn't even matter if he's good at it. He could lose people money, and he's just like, I'm Jeff Shepard, and I won a championship. So, and I produced you Reed Shepard. So
you're welcome.
Yeah, bring me yo money. And he manages some of my family's money. So there you go. I think. Anything else to talk about? I don't even know. I think that we pretty much covered it all.
It covers it all. I'm ready for the season already. I need it here already because this one went too fast, so I needed to slow down so I can enjoy like every second of it.
It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen this year. It's just like it's not long enough. One thing to wrap it up. Have you seen some of these Tennessee posts about Gainey coming back and him posting 5th year loading?
Who?
Jordan Gainey, the dude who backed up Zakai Ziegler.
Oh, I said Danny, and I was like, who the hell is Danny? No, I have not seen that at all. So
he posted that, and I saw a bunch of Tennessee fans retweeting it and getting. If NCAA changes the rule and gives you that 5-year guarantee, I wonder if that opens a window up for anybody that we saw from last year's team to come back. I'm trying to think who it would be. There's one dude who I would say absolutely. I think he's only got 4 years played so far, and he was stolen from us. And we need a really, really elite on-ball defender and point guard.
Lamont?
I think he's only played 4 years, right? Did he have a 5th year? Did he have a redshirt year? Or did he have a 5th year injury, anything like that?
I don't know. But I don't think he's already graduated, so like I don't think he'd come back. I mean, maybe, but
Gainey's a senior. He's been 4 years. So I don't understand. I know that there's the talk about the automatic 5-year rule, like you get 5 years to play college ball, so you have a graduate year. And maybe he already has that. But if Gainey's coming back, that means that they expect that rule to be changed. And it just got me thinking, like, is there a dude who can use that 5th year that Pope would say, yeah, it's worth bringing them back? Nope. I lied. He already has 5 years. Lamont's gone. Fuck.
I think they all did.
Maybe that's potentially accurate. But yeah, so interesting that if they change that rule, what that would do, but also potentially opens up. I think, and we have seen some players enter the portal when everybody's like, "Why are you entering the portal? You have no eligibility." So maybe there's some their back channel talking of that year coming out. And then we're just going to start this cycle up again, man. It's like this portal thing is absolutely wild. It's like this potentially will start it up again. There's going to be a coach who gets fired or goes to the NBA, and it's going to create another 30-day cycle. It's all going to be absolutely crazy. They gotta eventually figure this thing out, right? Like between, especially, I think you see the post? It was 60% of the kids who entered the portal, I think was the number, either have not been picked up or had to go down a level, meaning they went from D1 to D2 because like they just got bad advice and they stayed with their team. And who knows? Some of it might have been like, "Hey, dog, you ain't good enough. You got to go."
True.
But most of it, because from what you hear, the optics are, I'm leaving because there's more money out there for me and opportunity. And they get bad gouge, they get bad info, and guess what? There ain't. And now you're gone, and you're playing and now you're Devin Askew, right? Playing for, Cal Poly or
Long
DeVry
Beach
or
State.
whatever,
And he I think the portal again, or wasn't the portal again?
Yeah, I saw that someone retweeted a post that former 5-star Devin Askew or 5-star Devin Askew commits to Kentucky. It was from like 2019, and everybody kind of like didn't pay attention to the date. And everybody's like, "What is going on with this?" Yeah, that would get it going. Well, I guess we'll see what the rule change is. We will stand by for that, see if it opens any doors for anybody else. But as it stands right now, the roster is good. It could potentially be great if it meshes. We are multiple. We are diverse, like you mentioned. We're athletic as hell, and there is potential to be very, very special. But unfortunately, we do have to wait a little bit.
Fine.
We'll see, we'll see what the TBT roster is. That'll be the next thing in what, July, I think. We'll get some July basketball. Yeah. Maybe we'll get some announcement of what we're going to do this summer as a team. But the portal season is not over yet. The portal is closed, and we'll see where everybody shakes out. It'll be on to the NBA draft and monitoring where Otega continues to climb. 77, the latest on the draft board. So. All the best to him. Hopefully he gets some good feedback, doesn't climb too high. Selfishly, we obviously want him back. And then eventually we got to start talking football. We're not there yet, but eventually we'll have to get there. Eventually we have to break the silence on motivated Mark Stoops. But until then, it's all ball, basketball, round ball season.
All basketball.
And we support Mark Pope, even if he hates Kentucky kids.
Wow.
I'm gonna get clipped on that part. Like, hey, see, Rando says Pope hates Kentucky kids.
I'm putting that in the intro video too.
Don't do that. Don't self clip me. Yeah, shots fired. But all right, Selena. Well, I appreciate you getting on with me on draft day, even though you don't care about the draft. But the world is moving. The world is moving fast. It's nice to be able to slow down and talk Kentucky sports to you every week. So until next week, go Cats.
Go Cats.
Peace.